I got myself coffee, even though it's like 3 p.m. here. Do any of you drink coffee after like the morning time? Because same. Honestly, I would drink coffee until 10 p.m. if I could sleep. But like I'm old now, so if I drink coffee past, like right now, I probably won't be able to sleep because I'm drinking coffee at 3 p.m. But you know what? No regrets. It's delicious. It's so good. Hi everyone, it's Brittany and welcome back to Brit's Book Blog. Today I wanted to do the newbie book tag that so many people have been doing way back in, like 2014, 16, 2017. It's okay, it's 2020 and I'm still gonna do it. So originally I think this tag was made by Brenda C, and I can't find the video. I mean, I found it, but it says it's not available anymore. So I don't think she does booktube anymore. She doesn't have any videos on her channel anymore. So I will link her channel down below, and I'll, obviously give her credit since this is her tag. But I'm going to put all 10 of the questions in my description, so then you can kind of do it as well if you're a new booktuber. I know I've made a few friends that are kind of starting out being a new booktuber, and so maybe they would like to do this challenge as well. If not, who cares? It's totally fine. I just wanted to do this so you could get to know me a little better, and I want to know you a little better. So if you want to comment down below on some of these questions as well, I would love to hear that. But without further ado, let's get started. Question number 1 is, why did you start this channel? And I actually have wanted to start a booktube channel for so long. I mean, I've been watching booktube since like 2013, I think, and it's just always seemed like such a fun thing to do. And everyone has a different personality, and I like to watch so many different people talk about books, and even people that I don't have interest in the books that they choose, I still watch them because I love them. Like, for instance, How to Train Your Gavin. I love him so much. He reads a lot of middle grade, and he has inspired me to read more middle grade because I just love his channel. He's hilarious. Another one is Books and Lala. I do really connect with her on that thriller level. I love those books, but she reads a lot of contemporary and a lot of YA contemporary too, and I'm not the biggest fan. Honestly though, I've kind of been getting more into that as well. So even if I don't agree with like the booktubers, sometimes I just like to watch their stuff because I like them, you know what I'm saying? So I have gone through so many booktubers, and I've always wanted to start a channel. I think I've just been too nervous to start it. I started this channel specifically because we were stuck in quarantine, and I figured, why not do it now? I mean, there's no other time that would be better than right now to start a booktube channel. So that's kind of like the long-term reason and the short-term reason why I started this channel. Number 2 is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to booktube? And this is kind of a hard very intimidating question because I don't know. I do have some ideas. I am a pilot, so I kind of wanted to integrate that into the booktube thing. I had a few like fun ideas, maybe like fly to certain bookstores, or like, every time I go somewhere, hunt down a bookstore, something crazy like that. But that's honestly all I've thought of. And right now all of the flight schools are closed down, so I can't even do anything with that anyway. So that would be probably the most unique thing about this booktube. I haven't really decided on anything else yet, so hopefully I will come up with some fun things, some unique things that nobody else has done before. Everyone's got their little quirks and things, and something will come up. I just don't know what it is yet. Number 3 is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And I just like being in the community. Honestly, I've already kind of had a taste of how this is gonna go. I mean, the Bookstagram, the booktube, everyone is so nice. Everyone has so many recommendations, so many ideas. You can literally find anyone that has the same taste in books. It's such a fun community to be a part of, and I think that's what I'm most excited about. I don't know a lot of people that read books in real life. I mean, if I find a book that I love so much, I make my family read it. I try to make my best friend read it, of course, and they do it, and usually they love it. Usually. There's, sometimes that they're like, well, it wasn't for me. And so I'm excited to have a whole nother community that I can talk about books with a little more in depth, just because, you know, these people live and breathe books just like I try to do. And so you can find anybody that has read this book or is reading this book that you're reading or likes this book. That's what I think I'm most excited for, is the community again. And I'm really excited to be here. Number 4 is, why do you love reading? And I think it's probably the most basic answer, but reading is the best way to escape. There are so many different things that you could read. You can use books for everything. You can use books to be in someone else's shoes, to understand people that are different from you a little better, or to learn something new, or to just be in a really strange world. Or there's just endless opportunities when you read, and that's just why I love to read. There's so many things that I could do with reading, that you could do with reading, that all of us could do with reading. There's nothing else quite like it. You know, you can always watch movies and you can always, you know, watch a show, but there's nothing else quite like reading. Number 5 is, what book series got you into reading? It's a hard question because I feel like I've been in reading for a really long time, and I feel like it wasn't a book series that originally got me into reading. It was more, you know, my parents read to me when I was young and I would pick up books and do this and that and the other. But a series that probably really got me into reading is A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I read this when I was really young and I loved it. I even own it. I have it on my shelves and I loved it. I watched the movie, I watched the new Netflix show that came out, which is better than the movie, but I don't think it was really a series that got me into reading. And you know, I was pretty young when Harry Potter first came out, and my mom actually read all the Harry Potter books, and I remember when I was young, I was trying to read the Harry Potter books on my floor, and there were so many words in there that I didn't know. So I didn't read Harry Potter first. And I know for a lot of people, Harry Potter is probably the book that got you into reading, but Harry Potter just wasn't the one that got me into reading, just because I didn't read it at the beginning of my reading journey. So I don't think that counts. Number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? You know, this one's a hard one because everyone's got tailored questions per booktuber. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the booktuber. I would ask this person this or this person that. But honestly, you know, it's hard to answer this because usually you already know their favorite book because they talk about it. You already know a lot of stuff about the booktubers when you watch their videos because they give you the information. I think the one thing that I would ask them is, you know, how do you fit reading into your schedule? Because a lot of the booktubers that I watch read a whole bunch of books. I think that would be my question as kind of a universal question for all booktubers. Number 7 is kind of long. So it is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I honestly think that is talking to a camera. It took me forever to even get one video up. I bought a new camera and like a lighting system, and I tried to set up my whole area so I could do this booktube. And like I said, I started this when we were stuck in quarantine, and I ended up recording probably like 6 videos and editing 6 videos, and then I hated them and I deleted them. But I think the biggest thing is, you know, putting yourself out there kind of to be, you know, judged, or I don't know. I think that is the biggest thing, is like talking to a camera and then putting it somewhere where people can see it. And even if, you know, only like 5 people watch my videos and like 4 out of 5 are my family, that's okay, because I enjoy doing this now. I have kind of gotten over the hump of talking. I mean, posting the first video is kind of the biggest thing, I think. That was the hardest thing to do. If you think about it, if people don't like my videos, that's completely okay. And if nobody wants to watch my videos, that's okay too. Because I decided that I like to do this. I think it's a fun thing to do, and I want to do it. So, number 8 is, when did you start reading? I started reading when I could. I loved books ever since I was little. Like I said, my parents would read books to me, and that's how it started, and it just never ended. I mean, as soon as I could read books, I would try and read everything that I could. Like I said, I tried to read Harry Potter because my mom was reading Harry Potter, and I was like, I want to read what you're reading, but I didn't quite understand some of the words and things in Harry Potter, so I couldn't read that. I would read like Junie B. Jones and just literally anything I could get my hands on. I remember one time we went to a garage sale, like a little yard sale, and we got these these fat old books. It was like Black Beauty and Lassie and like these fat, and they smelled like old books, you know. And I remember my dad said that he would give me $1 if I could read the book and then tell him about it. And these were, I was so young, I don't know how old I was, but these were like Lassie, like fat books with tiny letters. And I did it. I did. I read the books and he would give me $1. And I was rich. I loved it. My dad bribed me to read books. It's fine. It's fine. Now I have an obsession. Maybe this is his fault. I don't know who to blame. It's probably me. I started reading when I could. When I could read, I would. Number 9, where do you read? So I read everywhere. My favorite thing lately has been audiobooks. I don't care if people think it's cheating or whatever, but audiobooks are the best way to get reading in when you're busy. I will listen to an audiobook in the shower. I will listen to an audiobook when I'm driving, cooking, anything, literally anything I do, I will try and listen to an audiobook. When I do sit down and read a physical book or my Kindle, I usually read in bed. That's kind of the main place that I read. Sometimes I'll read outside. I do like reading outside. We have like a little patio area and I'll sit out there and read if it's nice out. Right now it's raining, so not a good time. Actually, it looks like it's drying up. And finally, number 10 is what books do you like to read? And I like to read pretty much everything. Like I mentioned before, I am not the biggest fan of contemporary, but lately the contemporary books that I've been reading, I've been giving like 4 or 5 stars. So maybe that's a lie. Maybe I do like contemporary. I like historical fiction. I like thriller, mystery, fantasy, sci-fi. I just like everything. I think right now I'm going through like a sci-fi fantasy phase that I really enjoy those books. Honestly, you could throw a book at me and I'll probably read it. I tend to stay away from things like romance, and I don't know why. Maybe because there's kind of a stigma behind romance, but I probably would like romance. One thing I don't read very often is romance and classics. I haven't read a lot of classics, which I also don't know why. Maybe because they're old and I feel like I would hate them, but I made it a New Year's resolution this year to read more classics, and that is not going very well. But I did read Jane Eyre, and I purchased Wuthering Heights and The Picture of Dorian Gray. I just haven't read them. I feel like if a book is good, I don't care what genre it is, I will like it. So when someone asks me what kind of books do you read, everything. I like it all. So that wraps up my newbie book tag. So let me know down below, what your favorite books are, what your favorite genres are, just anything about you that you want to share, because I want to know about you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy at home or not at home, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Sorry, I had to kick my cat out because she likes to destroy this chair that I have in the corner of my room when she's bored. So if I don't give her attention, she requests it by destroying my things. Makes sense. It's the fastest way to get my attention, I guess. So that wraps up my newbie about books, because books are so personal. They're so like in you. Like it sounds so weird.